Welcome, Taurus. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Taurus reading. On November the 5th, the full moon will be in Taurus, highlighting up the area of your perspective, your view, your approach to life. So this feels like an invigoration. And one of the cards I pulled for you was healing energy from the Talisman Oracle, and I'm going to read that to you. Take a moment to reconnect with your true self. It's time to heal the wounds you might carry, dissolve the stress, and replace the negative energy blocking your radiant character. Sometimes self-examination can be scary and upsetting, but it also brings joy and rebirth. Healing deeper scars doesn't mean that the pain or harm never existed, but it will no longer unconsciously control your actions. This tree is anchored and is absorbing the energy of the transmutation circle. You own the power of your own transformation, and you too can blossom with lush energy. Use this card when you feel drained and in need of healing power. Meditate with this card by envisioning growing roots similar to a tree growing deep in the ground, tapping into the vast energy that the world is made of. Imagine luminous veins growing on you, reaching every part of your body. Your heart and your mind are now shining brighter. The light radiates out of your body and out into space. I am healing. This is significant, Taurus. Your ruling planet, being Venus, is going through a number of contacts with all of the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn included, and that includes Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, are all having significant opportunities, including Chiron, to reshape what healing feels like to you, reshaping your ability to utilize your powers of observation, of witnessing the experiences and the emotions generated from harmful activities or experiences you've had in the past. So this is the courage to look at hard things, to look at things that make you uncomfortable, make you ashamed, perhaps make you feel guilty. Looking at those things and understanding how and why they trigger you so that you can take control of your responses to the world. This is about choosing to be happy and healthy. So I pulled for your overall energy the High Priestess, which is all about that inner wisdom that is based on your ability to reflect over your experiences throughout the past, the present, and into the future. This can be past lives. This can be the experiences of others in the past. Your ancestors, for example, who have lived and in many cases sacrificed a lot so that we could have the lives we have. This is about healing of generational wounds, if that's simply your family of origin, really looking honestly at what you learned, the experiences you had, and the story you've been telling yourself about that. So your wisdom is based on knowledge you've gained about who you are. And underneath the deck, the Hermit card. This indicates to me that you've been doing a fair amount of study, self-study, and this is beautiful, beautiful word. This attempt to ask yourself the hard questions, to look within for the answers to experiences in the objective world. This is you honoring those teachers, those supporters, those friends, those ancestors who know something about your authentic self, your authentic talents, and are sources of empowerment for you to return to over and over again. Whatever you learn, you have learned to share that with others. In the 10th house, the house of your professional activity, where you are in your community or how others see you. The Four of Swords indicates a definite retreat, step back, vacation, a break, mostly as the result of some having come through something harrowing, something challenging, something that tested your fiber. And in this case, you are understanding more deeply the patterns that have comprised what you would consider your failures, your disappointments, seeing that you had a part to play in those things as part of the experience that is gaining you a sense of gratitude that not only have you lived through what is challenging, what would have broken many other people, but that you understand even more so that these challenges were purposeful, were intentional. They helped you to see aspects of yourself, your behavior, your awareness that you would never have seen if these circumstances were the kinds of opportunities you felt that you were trying to pursue. So this is where you are grateful you're alive. This becomes almost like a spiritual foundation. You're in a new place. You understand that you really have what it takes to not only survive, but to thrive now that you have learned who you are. And you've learned a method of determining that, which in part is about learning from every lesson, right? Learning from every experience. If you've learned from it, it won't be repeated and you will have gained. In the first house, the Fool card. This is beautiful. The Fool card right off the bat is about liberation. It's about freeing yourself. And it's feeling as though you are freeing yourself from a past that was excruciatingly painful and challenging to you. Some of you have raised a family, have been in a relationship that was productive, but at a cost to your well-being, your peace of mind, your emotional health, so that you are free from the illusion that something could make you happy that not only couldn't, but didn't. And you are in this place of belief in who you are. That you survive that. There's so much more that you're capable of and that you're choosing in this moment. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your family, your foundation, the Knight of Pentacles is really looking at securing more avenues of abundance, more sources of security and stability for yourself, ways that you can leverage what you know, what you perhaps have practiced, what your experience surrounds, into a way that gains you more opportunities for support, away from what you perhaps have traditionally done, but really builds off multiple talents and skills you have. And as an industrious Taurus, you love being productive. You love creating things. You're very creative. You're very artistic. You know how to balance things well. You may be physically very gifted. You may be a phenomenal dancer, a wonderful musician. Whatever your talents are, you're learning to use those as sources of support, not just for material abundance, but for emotional balance and support, the abundance of your heart, of your efforts, of your family, leveraging that in a way that brings more joy into your life. In the seventh house, house of significant partnerships, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's some unkind words, unkind behaviors that occurred as a result of relationship or a series of relationships, because there's something about a family that you created, a family that you built in which everyone isn't happy and you are blamed in some ways, or there is anger on your part as the result of ways in which everyone's life did not evolve smoothly, that others have made choices that they hold you or you hold yourself in some way accountable for. And this is tough because uh, you feel that you um, raised your children, and this is very specific, in a way that they would be safe and protected, where they would be secure, they would be impenetrable, solid. And what you're realizing is, in many ways, you have created a relationship where there is not the kind of reciprocity that you believe matches your loving energy. So what others experienced is of your loving energy was criticism, standards, rules, uh, instructions, ways they should be based on you. And there may be a conflict as a result of that kind of relationship. And you are thinking about this deeply. This is something that you rest on and think about, but you are past the point of regrets, I feel. You're more closely to a place where you recognize that the opportunity to balance these relationships is your willingness to take account for your actions, to recognize how you perhaps really managed relationships that now seem to be reflecting back to you, mirroring back harsh words, harsh criticisms, uh, rules and regulations that feel punitive to you. I'm going to clarify these cards with the ethereal deck, the shadow work deck. And I hope that I will finish off with a crystal oracle. If this reading is resonating with you so far, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I greatly appreciate all the support that you give to me. And I'm going to pull clarifiers in one swing. So the Fool is clarified by the Sun card. Wow, that's lovely. The Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. A repeat there. The Seven of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups. And the Four of Swords is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. So there is a lot right now that you're aiming for that has to do with your authentic self, your ability to be happy with who you are, and the exercise of the joy that you have in being yourself, how that lights up your community, your family, your projects. This is a critical key to the liberation you're experiencing, realizing you are not beholden to the needs of others. Others who you have served rather tirelessly for a while. And now your goals, your gifts are a priority for you. You want to be free to pursue the activity of those things. In the fourth house, the Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, is talking a little more forcefully at this point on utilizing the resources that you've gathered that have become a part of your foundation. This can be funds that you've saved. This can be retirement earnings. This can be a largesse, an inheritance, or some money that you get is being specifically used to promote a project of yours. And the words I'm hearing right now is that you have always used, for some of you, have always used the resources you had to support someone else's dream, someone else's education, someone else's effort. And this time, this is about promoting a dream or an effort or a project of your very own, something that allows you to exercise those beautiful talents you have. In the seventh house, the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups. All these beautiful sevens is about the way that you are reimagining how you can communicate with significant others, how you are trying to retool language, words, discussion, argument, gaining information, gathering information, or sharing data in new ways, new opportunities that ultimately help reveal your feelings, allow you to exercise your gifts. So there's a way in which you have defaulted to the tools of language that you use. In many cases, they're tools of language that you learned growing up. They were conditioned by what you saw of relationships growing up. So there could have been a lot of arguing, a lot of criticism, a lot of unkind or cruel words spoken. In the 10th house, the house of your professional experience, the Four of Swords is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. Here I really see you trying to make a change in your material experience. You're realizing that it isn't what you have pursued. It perhaps has been the way that you've pursued it that you're really looking to change or alter. You're reestablishing what your goals are in terms of what it is you want or what it is you see as your leverage, your tools. And this is you releasing an old role that you've been playing for a long time. It can be the put upon parent. It can be the responsible lover or partner. It can be the servant, friend, the friend who always helps everyone out no matter what the situation and feels safe and comfortable in that role, but never asks for help or support from others. So this is a script you're flipping. You're understanding that you have gone through challenges or the difficulty you endured in perhaps raising a family, as an example, but that now it's time for you to shift your expectation of what is feeling good to you in a moment. How do you want to live? And more importantly, how do you want to feel? I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, and golden calcite has jumped out immediately, and the key word is inspiration. I'm inspired in all that I do. This is lovely, Taurus. With healing energy, I just feel so much growth coming to you at this time. If you enjoyed this content, check out more content here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes, and until next time, namaste.